Hi, this is Carrie from Tone Wars. We're going to go live in just a few minutes, but before we do, I just wanted to take a few seconds to say a few things. Jared and I really appreciate when you guys tune in and interact with us when we go live. We work very hard to make sure that our live streams and our produced videos are educational and entertaining for everyone. Believe it or not, there's a lot of work that goes into our live streams and our produced videos. So if you like what you're experiencing here, here's a couple ways you can help us out. The Super Chat feature is turned on and any amount will be appreciated. Jared is also available for private consultation for a nominal fee. You can contact Jared through two of the links below. One is through our Tone Wars Facebook page and the other is through email. So thank you so much for your support. The live stream's about ready to start, so go pour yourself your favorite glass of whiskey or other libation and we'll be right with you. Cheers!
Welcome to Tone Wars. Oh my God. Hello everybody. Woo! Oh man. So absolutely so good to see everybody here. I can't even tell you guys how much I've missed you. I honestly can't put it into words. Coming down here, being in the studio here and being able to go live with you guys. I have never, ever missed it so much as I did the last 2 weeks of my life. It's been a very, very long, hard road back here. And I thank you all for joining me, and I just trying to keep myself together here. I can't even put into words, like I said, how much I missed you guys. The things that we do on a daily basis, or maybe even a couple times a week in our lives, that it just becomes kind of a normal thing for us, and it's so easy for us to maybe not take it for granted, but I guess that, but just kind of expect to be able to do it. It just becomes really simple to be able to just expect that this is going to happen on Tuesday, this is going to happen on Wednesday, and so on and so forth. And I literally, I've been wanting to go live for the last 4 days, but I've been so up and down that I literally could not plan a live stream until almost last minute. It's a game time decision for me, is how it's been, and that's why I literally posted a picture in the community section of my YouTube page just a few hours ago, because it was literally like, when I got up this morning, I was like, well, I don't know if I can, I really don't know. And so I had to do it all last minute because I didn't want to promise anything and then not be able to deliver. So it's been very, very hard. Let me turn my mic or my, ears up here a little bit. Again, I really appreciate you guys being patient with me and understanding. When I first posted a couple weeks ago that I wasn't going to be able to do a live stream, I thought I was just coming down with something, and just needed to get some rest or whatever, and I didn't want to alarm anybody. But I just, so everybody knows, I did test positive. I can't use the word because YouTube's somehow demonetizing channels that are using the word, but I tested positive for the issue that's going around. I guess let me just get into it real quick. So on the 20th of March, I washed trucks that night and for my pressure washing business. And I got home that night and I had this horrible chill go through me and I could not warm up. I just could not warm up, and I felt like I got hit by a bus. I mean, I just zero energy, and I've been there before, overdid it, worked too hard, didn't get enough sleep, stuff like that. You go to bed, you get up the next day, and you're fine. And that's kind of what I thought it was going to be. And I got up the next morning and I felt like I got hit by a bus again. And I literally had zero energy, none. So um, for the next 10 days, and I'm being honest with you guys, for the next 10 days of my life, it's an absolute blur. I don't remember most of it. Um, I, I, I slept for 10 days. I got up just enough time to use the restroom, feed my cats, eat an orange, drink some orange juice, and go back to bed. I slept for probably about 20 hours a day. Um, and it's literally a blur. I don't remember hardly any of it. Every day just kind of ran into the next one, and there were a few times where I had conversations. I called my doctor, and they were like, "Well, I think it was around day 7. They were like, "Well, we don't really know if you need to get tested. I mean, maybe it sounds like you have the flu." So I had zero energy, slept all day every day. My eyes hurt really bad. I wasn't coughing or anything like that. It was just no energy. Um, I didn't fall asleep. I passed out. It wasn't a thing where I'm like, oh, I'm going back to bed. I mean, I literally just barely made it up to my bed and laid down and don't remember anything after that. I mean, that's what it was like for 10 days. My eyes hurt really bad every time I woke up. I moved my eyes around to look around and see what was going on, and it felt like somebody punched me in the eye from behind my eyes. It was really painful. And that's why my doctor's like, well, that sounds like flu symptoms. And cheers, by the way, I'm not drinking whiskey tonight. I'm drinking hot tea. So I'm not going to be much fun tonight with that. So anyway, I asked my doctor if I should, get tested, and they were like, "No, we think it's the flu." Well, then a couple days later, they called and checked on me, and she was like, "How you feeling?" I said, "Well, I'm feeling a teeny bit better." She goes, "Maybe you should go get tested." So, I actually it was the first day. I think it was day 11. I actually had enough energy to stay up for a full day. I wasn't like energetic. I just wasn't feeling like I was going to pass out every 5 minutes. So I I was kind of freaked out, because my doctor told me to get tested. So I basically just said, "All right, well, I guess I have to go down and get tested." So I got in my truck, and I had enough adrenaline going through me just to keep me, kind of awake enough and alert enough to drive down to the hospital. And I got some pictures I can show you. When I went down there, I mean, I've been to the hospital. We've all been to the hospital before, the ER or whatever, where you go in and you see a doctor, you fill out some forms, and you get whatever kind of stuff done that you need done. And well, when I drove down this time, it was like a ghost town because everybody's here in Michigan is supposed to stay home, so it was very surreal. It was very like third worldish, kind of like apocalyptic. It was really really weird. It was a gloomy, windy day. Skies were gray and just kind of was dark and crappy out. It was probably late morning, early afternoon. I don't really remember what time it was. I finally found a parking spot and the parking ramp there because everything was blocked off. So I went in the main entrance of the hospital, and they're like, "Hey, stop! What are you doing?" And I said, I had a mask on and some gloves, and they were like, "What do you need?" I said, my doctor told me to come down here and get tested. So they said, "Don't come in here. Please go outside to the tents." And I was like shocked because it was like I've never seen tents in front of a hospital before like this. I mean, it was like a war zone. It was really weird. And I still remember like the wind flopping the tents around and the zipper openings and stuff, and it was like noisy, and you can hear the rattling of the tents. There were 3 of them. There were 2 waiting area tents and one where there was a doctor. And so I walked up to the one where the doctor was, and there was like these clipboards. Um, and he's peeking at me through this little window, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And I just said, "I'm here to get tested." And he was like, "Fill out the paperwork and go have a seat in one of those waiting rooms, and I'll come get you." So I did. Now here are some pictures here I wanted to share with you guys. They're just from my cell phone, so forgive the crudeness of the images, but that's the waiting room I was in of the tent. So there was probably like 8 chairs in there, and I just kind of was just sitting here in this tent, um, waiting for the doctor to come get me. And I just kept looking underneath the zipper door kind of thing there to wait for his feet to appear. you know. So there's like another shot of it right there. And then here's the room that I went in. So when he finally got me, I went into this room here, and I mean these poor doctors, man, they're just stuck in these tents all day, you know, and they're just kind of waiting for people to come and get tested. And so basically, what happened was he basically just said, and this is me literally like sitting in the chair, and he was to my left. So for his privacy and all that, I didn't obviously take pictures of him, but. So anyways, I'm sitting in the chair. He takes my vitals and he basically just says, "We can't test you because the state's now allowing that right now, unless you fill a certain criteria." So the criteria was you had to have a hard time breathing, which I wasn't really having, but I was still freaked out and kind of panicked about that and didn't know if I was having a hard time breathing or not, to be honest with you. So um, So, anyways, a couple minutes later, the other doctor walked in and said, "Hey, good news! State just lifted the thing, so we can test whoever we want." And he looked at me. He said, "Do you want to get tested?" I said, "Absolutely. I got to find out what's going on with me." So they took this long, like Q-tip thing, and he basically said, "Just tilt your head back and don't touch my arm, don't grab my arm, don't move your head." He said, "This is really going to suck. It's going to feel horrible, but I got to stick this thing all the way up to your nose till it touches you about right here in your sinus cavity." I'm like, "All right." So I sat on my hands, and then he just kind of put it in halfway and then just kind of bopped me with it and got the sample that he needed. And he said, "We're going to test you for flu and for the other thing." So that was it. I said, "What if there's anything, what if I do test positive?" And he said, "There's really nothing we can do. We don't have the meds for it. There's really no cure. You just got to stay home and self medicate. Just drink lots of hot liquids and vitamins and get plenty of rest and make sure you're eating enough and just stay away from everybody." So that's basically what the treatment was. And so I walk out and get in my car and thank God the hospitals took over, because before that, when the state was running it was 3 weeks for results. But when the hospitals took over, it was a couple days for results. So, that really made a big difference. And so, anyways, I got home and just kind of, you know, just sat there and stared at the walls for a while, just going, what do I do now? And so the next day, my doctor called me and said they got my test results back for the flu, and I tested negative on the flu, influenza A and B. So right there, I knew, and she knew too. She was like, "Well, it looks like you got the other thing. How are you feeling?" and stuff like that. So I ended up just had my moment of freaking out and worry and everything else. But I mean, but there was a part of me that was like, well, I'm already starting to come out of this and feeling a little bit better. So maybe the news isn't as bad because I'm coming out of it. Now, in hindsight, I'm glad I found out when I did, because if I would have found out several days before that, when I was passing out and feeling like 100% drained, I don't know what it would have done to me emotionally or, even physically. It might have taken me down even harder. So I'm grateful, honestly, that I got the news when I did. And what timing, right? Go down to the hospital, they say you can't get tested, and then 10 minutes later they say you can. That was like the perfect time for me to show up. A couple days before that they wouldn't have tested me. So I mean, the timing worked out really good. It seemed weird at the time, but when I look back on it, it actually worked out fairly well in my favor. Um, so, and then 2 days after that, I got the results that I was positive. But by that time, I was still kind of pulling out of it, but I was still feeling my lungs felt a little strange when I inhaled a lot. At the top of my lungs felt a little weird and tight. I still have a little bit of a cough. Um, but and it is psychosomatic. You'll worry because they keep asking you how's your breathing and stuff. So you'll worry about your breathing and like, well, is my breathing good? Is it really good? Am I really feeling better? And you start second guessing everything. You try to, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I had a timer on my phone and I'm like holding my breath to see how long I can hold my breath to see if my lungs really were okay. And it's just little stuff that you do because I'm by myself. There's nobody here but me. So there's just little things that you do to test yourself to make sure you're okay. Um, but I started eating more. I I was at 217 when I got sick, and I ended up being at 198 at the end of it. Yesterday, I weighed 198 pounds. So I literally ate an orange, a couple of bites of soup, and had a glass of orange juice and some hot liquids every day for 10 days. And it really took a toll on me. I mean, I've been walking around my house the last 2 days just trying to like get reorganized here and get going and just walking around my house, my legs are so atrophied. My hips hurt. I'm sore everywhere. I actually tried to do a light workout yesterday, and I did 3 sets of curls and 3 sets of tricep extensions in my gym right over here with the lightest weight I've ever worked out with, like the pink weights, right, guys? The pink weights. And it hurt so bad, and I barely even made it through. I just wanted to see where I was, and everything's so atrophied, like everything, my whole body. I mean, the first time I played my guitar, I think was 2 days ago, and I just plugged into my Kraken amp upstairs, and everything sounded weird. Everything felt weird. I couldn't play hardly anything. Gripping the neck, just to do some regular bar chords and stuff was like agonizing. It's amazing what 10 and a half days or so of just sleep will how much it'll deteriorate your body. Um, but let me just say this. I'm going to read some comments in a minute. And again, I appreciate you guys being here. But if you are going through this, or if you have a loved one that's going through this, and you're freaked out, don't freak out. You're going to get through it. The best advice I can give you is get plenty of rest. Take vitamins, tons. I had so much vitamin C in me, it wasn't even funny. I thought I was going to turn into an orange. I mean, it was insane. Um, don't go on social media and read all of the negative, hyperbole out there. Don't let that stuff get to you. Stay off of social media. Don't even go on social media and say you have it, because then you get all these people that are trying to help you and saying, "Oh, I know a guy," and they start giving you all these horror stories, and that's not what you need. Stay positive. Only positive things should be on your mind, from your friends, from your phone, and I want to give you some positivity now and just say you're going to be okay. Uh, just stay strong and make sure that you're eating enough food to fight this thing with, and lots of carbs, lots of soup. Eat lots of soup, man. I kind of fell back in love with soup again. I got so much freaking soup in my kitchen, in my cupboard right now. It's not even funny, and I've been eating lots of soup. Hot liquids. I was drinking just regular hot water all day. This thermos has become my new best friend. I mean, every day I would drink like 3 or 4 thermosfuls of hot water, hot tea, squeeze some lemon juice in there, whatnot. I want to say hello to my co-host and awesome friend Carrie. I know you're watching. I miss you. Usually she's right here. But because of social distancing and whatever I've been through, we're trying to be careful. But she actually helped me quite a bit. She dropped off food for me several times and left it on the porch, and I really appreciate that very much. And I don't, there's other friends, Steve Shaheen, who's also a medical professional. He reached out to me and gave me a lot of great advice too. If you're watching, Steve, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for all that you do. Um, these people that are putting their lives on the line and risking everything to make sure that we're taking care of our angels from heaven. So I appreciate you guys very much. But yeah, you're going to be okay. Just stay away from anything negative. Don't listen to any negative reports. There's a lot of hyperbole. There's a lot of, the whole Facebook doctors and the Facebook experts that are out there telling you that they heard this and they heard that. There's all these conspiracy theories and stuff. Just don't listen to it. Stay positive, stay healthy, stay confined. Um, the the steps that I took towards getting better were so small. I felt as if I was almost going backwards. That's how small each day was as far as like when I got better. I remembered like day 8 was the day my eyes stopped hurting. But the rest of me was just still achy and tired and everything else. And I was just like, well, I appreciate this, but I don't know how much better I really am. Maybe my eyes will hurt again tomorrow, or in a couple hours. I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect because it was like, excuse me, it was like very small baby steps towards getting better. So don't get discouraged by that though. Hang in there. And like I said, for me, it was 10 days at least that I slept every single day and didn't do anything. For other people, it might be less, it might be more. According to my doctor, she said everybody's having a different experience with it. If 10 people get it, it's 10 different versions of it. So she said, there's really no way for us to predict anything for you. We can't predict anything like, oh, by day 6 you'll feel like this. They don't have enough data for it because number one, again, everybody has a different experience with it. So, but God bless you. If you have it, hang in there. You're gonna be okay. Just keep an eye on your breathing, and the rest of it is all just a matter of rest, vitamins, and eating properly. Lots of hot liquids, no cold liquids, just hot liquids all day, as many as you can drink. I burned the roof of my mouth on all the hot liquids I was drinking. And again, I missed you guys uh, more than I can say. I thought of you guys often. I mean, seriously, when I was laying in bed and sweating and shivering and looking around my room at all the warped lights and all the weird stuff that was going on, I did think of you guys and wish I could be, live with you guys and hanging out. But I was so tired that they were fleeting thoughts. They would just go in and out, and then I would be in and out. I'd be passed out and awake, and sometimes there were times my typical day was I would get up around 10 and I would be up for maybe an hour and then I would pass out back in bed again. And most of the time I'd wake up and it'd be dark out. It'd be like 8, 9 o'clock. And I'd wake up, have a half a cup of soup, and then I would go back to sleep and get up and sleep all night and get up the next day at 10, 11, sometimes noon, and just start the whole cycle all over again. And they say like the smell, like your sense of smell goes away. They're 100% right. I can't smell anything. I made coffee today, and usually my whole house will smell like coffee after I make it. I couldn't smell anything. I mean, it's insane how your sense of smell is gone. The only thing I can smell is like this weird kind of thing that every time I inhale, it almost smells like how you light a match and you blow it out. It's got that sulfury kind of stinky thing. It's almost like somebody did that and stuck it up my nose. I mean, that's what everything smells like to me. It smells awful. Today, when I went down here to set up the live stream, I plugged in my Kemper and I got all my profiles in here that I've been making. And I even made one of my Bogner, Uberschall module and the other day. And I'm not kidding you guys. Everything sounds like crap to me. Everything sounds weird. I can't stand hearing myself play. I can't stand what my profiles sound like. And I even tested them against other profiles that I know are tried and true, and they even sound like crap to me. Everything sounds terrible to me right now. It's so weird. So even when I'm playing tonight for you guys, I'll play in a little bit here. I'm gonna barely make it through these songs. And the funny thing is when I started warming up for some of these and just seeing, the old assessment. All right, let's play. Let's get the backing tracks going and see where I'm at. Everything felt 10 times faster than it should have. I couldn't even keep up with the songs. I was like, oh my God. I, I, I felt like I was playing speed metal. It was so weird. And the profiles in my in ears just sounded awful. I was like, God, these are terrible. Are these the right profiles? And I'm going through them and I'm like, nothing sounds good. So it's been a very, very weird situation here dealing with this. It's been really, really unique trying to get back to normal here. I'm hoping tomorrow I can go for a walk outside and just try to get some fresh air in me and get things going again. But my arms are like bean poles right now. They're skinny. I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost a lot of muscle mass. Not that I was a bodybuilder or anything, but I had something, and now I got these flabby, skinny little arms and I literally like I said the other day, I'm doing the pink weights in my gym just to see where I'm at, and even those hurt like hell. I mean, the atrophy that's happened to me is just incredible. It's insane. So I'm going to get on to some other subjects now. I just wanted to open up with that, kind of share my experience with you guys, and hopefully people that are looking for a source of like just a real person like me, just average Joe six pack kind of guy that's been through this. I'm hoping that information is helpful to you. And again, I want to give you as much positivity and hope as I can. You will make it through this. Stay away from anything negative. No negative reports. I got to the point where it's like people would talk to me and like, yeah, I'd be like, don't, if it's negative, I don't want to hear it, dude. I'm sorry. I know you think you're helping me, but you're not. Just, I don't want any negatives. None. No negative reports at all. And I'd have to stop people in their tracks and be like, I'm sorry, I can't listen to that. Even when I was starting to feel better, it's like, I don't want to listen to that. And Steve Shaheen, who again is a friend of mine and is a medical professional, said the same thing to me, and he kept giving me positive reports. He kept giving me a lot of positivity, and it really helped. Really did. So I really appreciate that very much. The only people you should listen to are actual doctors and medical professionals. Nobody else. Oh my God, we got 54 people in here. Oh, God bless you guys. I'm sorry if I haven't read your comments and stuff. Oh, Jason Taylor, dude, thank you so much for the super chat and the kind words and everything. I'm kind of going back here to read some of these comments. Bucket is my God. What's going on, Brent? Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate it very much. Oh, God, guys, I just, I'm just taking it in. I didn't expect to see this many people here. It's just, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little emotional here, but I, I really appreciate you guys very much. The I'm still alone here, but the 10 days that I was, passing out and alone and scared and not knowing what was going on with me and so incredibly weak. Uh, it literally, I feel like I was in a coma, you know. Uh, I don't remember 90% of those 10 days. I really don't. I honestly don't remember it. All I remember is a few times getting up, coming downstairs, feeding my cats, and drinking orange juice. I mean, that's literally all I remember for the most part, and passing out, And uh, I've never been so scared and alone and like confused in my entire life ever in my life. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I've been through some stuff, but this scared the crap out of me. I mean, it was really weird, and in a way, I'm kind of glad I was so drained, physically because um, I don't. I'm glad that I was so drained that I didn't have time to get freaked out about it. I didn't have time to freak out and worry and have panic attacks and stuff because I probably would have done all of those things had I had the energy to do it. So it was really, really, really scary. And again, I'm not trying to scare people by saying it was scary. I'm just saying that it just was. I mean, I think a lot of the scariness comes from all the hyperbole that's out there about this whole thing. I think that's where it all comes from. Is like there's so much that we don't know about this that when you get it, you feel like you got a death sentence or like whatever. But it's when you look at the statistics, it's got a 98.7% survival rate. So I mean that's good. That's a really good thing. I mean, can you imagine if the survival rate was 50-50, and then someone told you? I mean, yeah. I mean, freak. That would freak anybody out. So again, the survival rate's really good, and a lot of that's based on the medical professionals who are literally like diving in head first, blind, as far as like there's no shot or meds or whatever for this. I mean, it's just they're just trying to do whatever they can for you. And I know that there's some malaria medication out there that's supposed to help people and stuff like that. So that's good. But for the most part, they're just trying to get you oxygen, get you intubated, get you healthy, and just doing whatever they can for you. So there's a lot of mystery still about this. So I'm just glad I made it through the worst of it. I'm not out of the woods 100% yet, but I feel a lot better, and even doing this live stream tonight, setting up for that was overwhelming to me, to be honest with you. Coming down here and setting all this up was very, I couldn't wait to go live and see all you guys, but at the same time, it was very overwhelming. I started feeling like, oh, can I actually do this? And yeah, it's been it's been really, really interesting, man. Oh my God, I can't wait to get back to my normal self again. I can't wait to have Carrie here with me, and be able to enjoy. What's funny is I was talking to her the other day, and it was like, it's funny how the simplest things, such as just sharing a glass of even terrible tasting shoe leather whiskey, as awful as that is sometimes, it's kind of funny. But even sharing something like that is that simple, and hanging out with you guys is like literally the highlight of our week, um, and missing that. I'll tell you, I never took any of that stuff for granted, but I'll tell you what, I never will. I will never even be tempted to take something as simple as having a glass of whiskey with a great friend and hanging out with you guys. I'll never, ever take that for granted. I'll never look at it as just another day. Um, you know, the one thing the one thing I want to say to you guys is I know this sounds like a bumper sticker or a platitude, but it really is true. Every day is a gift. You know, uh, every single day that you get to be on this planet and get to interact with your friends and your family and your loved ones and get to play awesome gear and enjoy a glass of whiskey or um, check out a Kemper profile or even get stuck in traffic and get your food screwed up through the drive through or whatever. It's all a gift. It really is. It is an absolute like gift and treat and pleasure to actually just be here and to be alive and be who we are. Um, Failures, successes, everything in between, lessons learned, all of it. It's all a gift. Don't ever don't ever take it for granted. Ever. I mean, you should get up every day and chase that day and catch it and run that day down and take everything you can out of that day because tomorrow is promised to no one. I went from being 100% healthy and washing trucks and just doing my thing to sleeping for 10 days and not knowing every time I went to bed whether or not I was going to wake up. And again, the whole thing was an absolute blur. So, I mean, to go that quickly, like overnight, from one version of myself to another, it's very very sobering, and it reminds us how fragile life really is, you know. So enjoy each day, enjoy each other, enjoy yourself, enjoy the things that you have, and be grateful for them because in an instant they could be taken away from you from one form to another, from one measure to another. So I love you guys. I very much appreciate you being here. I I wasn't expecting to get emotional at all tonight because it's been, but it's I'm still just this fourth day that I've actually felt human again, and there's stuff coming out of me now that's just kind of like it's the whole recovery aspect of it and everything is pretty freaky. So, Gunnerman, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I don't even know what to do with you guys right now. You guys are killing me with all the support and love and everything. I really appreciate you guys very much. And I'm sorry if I'm missing a lot of these comments. I will definitely read them all tonight later. And honestly, you guys, like Daryl, thank you so much. Thank you. Tonight, Ben, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you so much, dude. Um, your these comments that I'm gonna read later are they're gonna put so much gas in my tank, and they're gonna put me to the. I bet you they're gonna put me 10 rungs up the ladder to being back to normal again. You guys have no idea how powerful just friendship, love, positivity, and support uh, really is. I mean, you have no idea. Hopefully, by looking at me right now, you will know that because I feel 100 times better. I'm so glad I did this live stream tonight. I was not going to do it. I was 50-50 a couple hours ago. I was like, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I have the mental capacity to handle a live stream tonight. But I'm so glad I did. I really am. Um, because of how I feel right now, because of you guys. It's all because of you guys that I feel good right now. Um, I very much appreciate it. God, I don't even know what to do right now. I'm just so overwhelmed with it all. I very much appreciate it. I did take some prednisone, which is like a really heavy like steroid. The doctor prescribed it to me. They delivered it to my house when they thought I had the flu, and I didn't take it. But towards the end, when I started feeling better, she told me to start taking it, and I got to tell you, I can't take that stuff. That stuff freaked me out. I mean, that stuff made me want to go chase cars and bite trees. I mean, it was like it messed with my head really bad. It made me super aggressive and kind of ragey and weird. And I felt like I had this grenade that went off inside of me, and it was like all the explosive power was trying to exit my body, and I literally was like freaked out, and I couldn't take it anymore. So it makes you moody and hallucinate and all this kind of weird stuff. So I had to stop taking that because I took it for 3 days, and the buildup of it in my system kind of made me go over the edge a little bit. So yeah, that was weird. But I'm glad I'm off that now. Um, but anyways, well, all right. Let me read a couple of comments here. And I'm way like I'm caught up to where you guys are at, so I apologize if I missed some comments. Um, John Claudio says, "Good to have you back. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much." Um, Dennis Malloy, what's going on, man? He said you can call me if you want to chat sometime. Not back to work yet. I have some free time. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Um, Dave Miley, what's going on, buddy? Hey, while you have some unfortunate time on your hands, make a video mapping out your synergy setup and effects and how you are running it. Oh, well, maybe I could do that for you. I did do a synergy video, Dave, where I did show how I hooked everything up. I don't know if I went into detail about the effects and mapping, though. That's something I can look at. I'm definitely I'm building my website right now, and I'm looking at well, I should say I have somebody very talented that's building my website right now, not me, somebody else. But I will have like some 4 cable method Helix presets on there that I'll be releasing that people can use. And obviously, you guys probably know me well enough to know that like there'll be 80/20. There'll be about 80% of what you would prefer, and then there's 20% of like maybe some stuff that you'll have to massage with the effects and the levels and stuff like that, just to kind of suit your taste and your individual needs. But I'll be doing that as well very soon, hopefully. This whole thing has set me back quite a bit, so it's going to be a couple more weeks before I'm caught up with that. Solar, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it very much. Thank you. Um, you know, let's see, Carrie Lished. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing names wrong. Hi, Jared. So happy you're feeling better. Brent told me how sick you were. So happy you were on the mend. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Carrie. I appreciate that very much. Warm cord. You the man, Jared. After talking to you almost every day for so long, it was weird not talking to you much lately. Glad to see you're doing better. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm still, like I said, I'm still not 100%, but um, I still have my moments here and there where I get kind of dizzy and lightheaded and stuff. But I mean, for the most part, I'm feeling better. Just trying not to overdo it. Uh, but well, enough whining from me, I guess. Right? Let's get to some other subjects. Again, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you 1,000 billion times over. Thank you so much. I can't even express to you how much I am so grateful for every single one of you, and how much I missed all of you and missed hanging out with you on these nights. And you know, I, I I don't even know how I made it without you guys. And seeing you all here tonight has made me feel um, on top of the world. So I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I very much appreciate you being here with me. Um, and for all the kind words and for the super chats and everything. God bless you guys. And you know what? On that note, I know that we're all, financially struggling right now because we're not working as much. And, and people are taking pay cuts. They're not working at all. I mean, there's all kinds of furlough kind of things happening with everybody. And just seeing the super chats, even though you guys have been through that as well, as far as the financial strain and stuff. I mean, seriously, that adds even just more value to those. And I know how hard it is to even part with any money right now because of the situation. So I appreciate it very much. It really means the world to me, more than I can tell you. Thank you so much. So All right, let's go to the next topic here, which is, what do you guys think is going to happen with the local music scene in your area, and how do you think this is going to affect that? Because let's face it, I mean, for probably 2 months at least, right? The bars are all closed, and all the venues where we all play at are all closed. And uh, how do you recover from that? What do you think is going to happen with all of those venues that we played at for so many years? Do you think that it's going to pretty much mothball it forever? Do you think that some places are going to go out of businesses and some will survive? Do you think they'll all go out of business? I mean, or do you think they'll all just thrive and everybody will be so happy? You know what I mean? Like, hey, we could go back and we can have a beer and we can watch a band and we can, hang out again. And do you think that that's going to happen where everybody just comes flooding back and it's going to be insane? I definitely have my thoughts on it, and I also have my thoughts on how I think the industry is never going to be the same. And I want to share those thoughts with you guys. But I want to get your guys' thoughts as well, because I think, well, I'll withhold my thoughts for a couple minutes here and give you what I think my prediction is going to be, whatever that's worth. Um, Dave, thank you so much. Aaron, thank you so much. Uh, Brett Murphy, I've been itching to play a show again. We have now missed 2 shows and all the practices in between. Super rough. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Let me scoot up a little bit here. Yeah, I hear you. It's tough, right? Especially when it's something that you normally do on a daily basis, or I should say weekly basis. Let me bring this mic in a little bit more here. You know, uh, Something that you're used to doing and you're not able to do anymore. It's kind of freaks you out. I mean, it kind of bums you out that you can't do your thing that you did quite often. And it's a bummer, especially when there's a lot of musicians that actually make money off of performing live, like Aaron Short does. I mean, he performs at a lot of venues, and he hasn't been able to do that for weeks. And some of these venues might not come back. I mean, and so like that doesn't just affect the people that work there, but that affects the people that played there too. So there's that. Let me see what you guys, other people are thinking here. Um, let's see here. Darren Moore, what's going on, buddy? He says Lapeer has barely had a music scene, but I think it may come back because everyone will be eager to go out and hang out at bars. Okay? All right? Steve Strummer, very best wishes from the UK from one of your longtime. Dude, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. Great seeing you here. Thank you. Um, let's see, Shane, bars and brothels will always survive. Yeah, bars are, I mean, especially like some of the upper end bars around here, uh, that they have like their own brewery, kind of thing going on. I think that those places will survive because it's like a higher end kind of thing. There's a lot of money, deep pockets behind it. And people are going to look forward to getting back out there and enjoying all that stuff. But I'm thinking like the averagey, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but any of the averagey kind of bars out there, I don't know if they're going to survive because it's like, you know, um, I don't think they had the reputation or you know what I mean? Because let's face it, you don't miss a place that's average. You miss a place that's amazing, you know? So the places that are amazing are the places everyone's going to flock to, because when they're able to go back out and start eating again, where are you going to go? Are you going to go to an average place, or are you going to go to an amazing place that has that that drink or that food that you like, and that one dish that's amazing, you know? So that's that to me. Man, my nose keeps running now. Um, But I think people are going to flock more to the upper end type places. That's just my opinion, but that's what I think. Um, Let me scroll back here and see some of this here. Aaron Lucas, very concerned about the local scene. However, seeing artists do a lot of Facebook Live performance and vids has been very good. You're right. Dustin Smith, I think it's going to help the issue of oversaturation. I think you're right there as well. Um, Aaron Short says, I have never been more creative in my life, so I'm enjoying that, but I lost my main income and I wonder how long it will take for the two venues to get back to where they were. I'm sorry to hear that, dude, and but I understand. I do understand where you're at. Jason Taylor, my bandmate runs a music rehearsal studio. Oh, this is interesting. Um, and has a second job in the evenings. It's where we and many other bands practice, and now it's in jeopardy of having to be shut down. I started a GoFundMe for him. Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. I really am. That really sucks, dude. God, man. Aaron Green, the age of live interactive streaming will now be the norm. You're definitely hinting towards where I'm going with this as well. Um, Aaron, you are. I mean, I think you and I are thinking quite a bit the same right now about this. I'm Carrie. Hopefully, we can all afford to go out to the eat and drink after this. No, you're right. Seriously, Carrie, you're right. I mean, that's kind of where I'm thinking too. I think it's a lot of stuff's going to be they're going to be hurting for a while. Um, Dustin said it's hurting the struggling musicians that rely on gigs to survive. Yes, Dave Miley, full time musician, music um, buzz was already getting harder before the virus hits. Though I will be able to handle some downtime, I feel for my other musician friends who are not doing so well. The world will definitely go more online than it was before, Aaron says. Dave Rebel, the bar scene here in our area is not the same as it was 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. More open mics and more 1, 2 man shows. Yeah, I appreciate the comments, guys, and keep them coming. If I miss them, I apologize. I'll read them later for sure. But I guess let me just spew my I guess my thoughts about it. Okay, so um, I think that as soon as things open back up again and we're able to get back out there and do our thing, I think that the higher end bars are going to be drawing most of the crowds because people really missed, like I said, like that really awesome craft beer that they had and that really nice dish that they always got, and it was like their favorite kind of watering hole and stuff like that. There's probably going to be a slight surge for that because people want to get that again and celebrate being out in the open again and being able to enjoy that. Um, but on the other hand, funds are tight, right? So it's like there's only so many people that can actually that have the reserves to be able to do that. Number one. Number two, there's only so many times they're coming back because let's face it, going to your average, I shouldn't say average, but going to your most of your higher end places, I mean, for two people, it's $70, tab to go there and order a couple drinks and have a couple of really good entrees. You're looking at $70. Nobody has that kind of disposable income right now because of everybody being on furlough, pay cuts, not even working at all, being laid off. There's a lot of there's a lot of that going on. So it's very hard for people to part with that kind of money. Um, which brings me to maybe some of the average places will do okay because at least you can afford to go there, right? So there's that little aspect of it. Um, but so I think some of it's going to be short lived. Like the surge will be like, oh yeah, we're back, and then a week later, everyone's going to be like, I guess we're not back. We had that surge, but everybody kind of spent their money, and now they're getting back to work and trying to save money and make responsible decisions here. So there's going to be an initial kind of surge and then a pullback, and then a very slow incremental very, very methodical, plodding, slow kind of ride back to being normal again. And I think it's going to be several months before that stuff changes. I really do. But here's what I think as far as local musicians goes. A couple of you guys touched on it as well. So what a lot of people are doing is they're being more creative, which is good. I mean, where we want to go out and play. So there's people that are switching to, well, let's go and start a YouTube channel. Let's go on Facebook Live. I mean, there's people that I know that started a Twitch, channel, and as a band and even separate musicians in the band, they're going live and taking turns and playing some of their music on those formats or those platforms to kind of try to reach out to people. So there's bands that are doing it, and I think it's great because I've been saying it for years. I honestly felt for the last several years that concerts, and especially for local bands and stuff in this area anyways, are becoming a thing of the past slowly because let's face it, you can go play at a local venue right now. Let's say if the ban was lifted and all that stuff, we can go out and play. But for the most part, for local bands, I mean, there's going to be 20 people there, and 18 of those people are in the other bands that are on the bill. So it's bands playing for bands, all right? And a lot of people just aren't reaching an audience anymore by playing live. So, and I'm talking local, like original type music, for the most part. So they're going to discover, like when they do this, when they, because they're all holed up at home and they can't leave, and they can at least get together and do a show on Facebook Live and get 60 people to watch. And then next week they'll do another show and have 60 people or 50 or 40 or even 90 or whatever. And they're going to start paying attention to the numbers, and they're going to start paying attention to the interaction that they're getting with people. And pretty soon they're going to start doing the math and going, what's funny is, when's the last time we had 60 people come see us play at any bar? And they're all going to be like, I don't remember. Well, we've been playing for like a month now on Facebook Live or Twitch or YouTube, and we're getting more than that showing up and playing and watching our show. And we don't have to pack up all the gear, load it into a vehicle, drive to a location, pay for gas, pay for food, pay for drinks, set everything up, wait around, do the sound check, do the 30-minute set, pack everything up, put it back in the vehicles, get home at 3 a.m. and throw it on the living room and put it all away tomorrow. We don't have to do that. We just discovered that we can play in our practice space and have an audience that would love to watch us, because it's easy for an audience to watch that, right? Because even as you as an audience member, you don't have to get in your car and pay for parking, pay for dinner, pay for drinks, go in the venue, deal with all of the, some of the venues are pretty cool. Some are kind of dirty and nasty, and the drink prices are terrible. $10 for a beer. I mean, give me a break. The bathrooms are dirty, and you women know what I'm talking about. I mean, that's a big deal with the bathrooms, man. If their bathrooms are nasty, the women are just like, I don't want to go there. Can't even use the restroom, So it's stuff like that. And so it's like, as a concert goer, as a music lover, and somebody who wants to watch a band, I mean, what would you rather do? Deal with all that and drive and go to some, crappy, or even modestly okay venue and see a band, or watch it from the comfort of your own home? You can watch it. A lot of you guys are watching me right now on your home theater system, on your TV, and it sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure the drinks are great at your house, right? The food's great. The bathrooms are clean. It's just more comfortable. It's just easier. You didn't have to leave your house, and all that stuff. And it's like, you can either watch it this way or deal with all of the other stuff. And I'm telling you, us as human beings and just people are going to get used to this. We're going to get used to it. And we're going to get to the point where it's like, gosh, I don't know if I want to get in my car and go, see a show. This is the concert goer, the patron that I'm talking about here. And then the people in the bands are going to also be like, man, that whole thing that we've been doing for the last 2 months, we've kind of built it up a little bit and we've gotten some success with it. And I know we got these shows booked that, we booked a few months ago before the whole thing came up. I don't know if we really want to do those now, because that means we got to pack up all our stuff and go to this place and deal with all those things. And come on, guys, let's get real. I mean, we've played there before and there was like 30 people there. And we just did a Twitch stream the other day and there was 60 people there and it didn't cost us anything. We didn't have to move a bunch of gear, and we were actually, like, the people were loving it, and it was very positive, and we got done and we felt really good about it. So I wonder if we should maybe steer our efforts towards doing more online type stuff and using the internet for what we're doing and creating a need for people to want to see us in real life. So in other words, like, people are going to watch the Twitch streams or the YouTube channels for a while, and then they're going to start asking, like, hey, when are you coming to Connecticut? Or when are you coming to Arizona? Or when are you coming here and there? We'd like to see you guys, like, in person, like, play. And so now you're creating the need for people to want to see you, as opposed to going and playing somewhere and hoping that they show up. Because now that they've gotten to know you online and they like what you do and they like your personality and your music and everything else, they'll come see you when you come to Connecticut now, where before they wouldn't have. Not because you're not good, but they just didn't know who you were. You were just a face on a flyer. Now you're more than that. Now you've actually established a rapport and a relationship with these people. And when you show up to the venue, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, there's the band that I've been, interacting with on Twitch or whatever all this time, and I finally get to actually see them live and meet them, and they come and they experience that with you, and now you have a better fan base, and a relationship with your fan base, and I honestly think that." If I was a bar owner right now and I had a club that I knew was probably going to be struggling after this whole thing, and I didn't know what to expect, right? After this whole thing is over with, the number one thing now, if you're a promoter and you're a club owner, you might want to pay attention to what I'm saying here. And I say this with the greatest amount of humility, but I'm just telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I think that this is the way things are going to go. If I was a club owner, I would definitely have a streaming service from my club. Okay, I would have an interface that would go out to the World Wide Web. All right, so that I would take a direct feed off of the board, the same feed that the house gets inside the club, but I would take that feed and pump it into my interface. Okay. And pump that out to the World Wide Web and make sure that it sounds good. It's very easy to do. I'm doing it right now. It's very simple to do. And I would have an excellent light show. I would have the cameras. I would have all that stuff set up so that when a band comes on and plays at my club, I can take that show and stream it on my platform, and the band can actually share that on their platform. And then they'll have an audience. They'll have the audience that follows the club, and they'll have their own audience that follows them as a band themselves. And if there's multiple bands on there, they all share it, and everybody is sharing the same stream on all their social media platforms. And whether 20 people or not show up to the club, I'll guarantee you there's going to be at least 100 people watching it from the comfort of their own home, on their phones, on their tablets, on their TVs, everything, and they never had to leave the house to do it. And they can still see you on stage playing at a club, so you get the best of both worlds. Whoever shows up, but minimally, you're not really doing this for the audience that shows up physically. You're doing this for the audience that's watching through the web, that follows that club's stream, or your stream, or the other 3 bands that are on the bill, one of their streams and their platforms that they're on. That's the way I would do it. I would absolutely open up my venue for the public to come in, but I would not rely on them. They would be pretty much like a bonus. Like, well, if people show up, great. If they don't, that's fine. I'm doing this for the streaming service. And I would just ask people to, use to follow me on whatever platform I stream on as a club. Now, here's the other thing: if they have a band come in that has a really good YouTube following on their platform, what they would do then is they would basically log in to their, on their, their internet there, on their YouTube channel, and stream the show directly from that club right onto their YouTube channel. So that way, I mean, if you have a big following as a band and it's bigger than the clubs, why would you use the club's streaming platform? Why wouldn't you use your own? And there's also streaming services now that actually help you combine streams. You can actually combine them on multiple platforms. So that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen. And I'm telling you, playing locally is never going to be the same. It isn't. There's going to be people that come out and enjoy a local band playing here and there just because they want to get out and enjoy that. It's going to be a very quick surge, and then it's going to pull back again just the way it was. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, the scene in my area is dead. They just don't know it yet. It's not official. And I don't mean this as a slight to the scene. It's just it's all but dead. If you're in a local band in my area and you play originals, good luck getting anybody to come see you play. It just doesn't happen. You know, and I'm at a point right now. I was just talking to a friend the other day about this. I'm at a point right now where it's like, if I had an opportunity to play locally around here, or I could play right here in my studio on my channel, I would play in my studio on my channel 100% of the time. I would never play around here locally, when I can just come down here and do this and see all of you great people at any given time and not have to. I mean, yeah, I have to set things up and there's definitely some work involved, but it's nowhere near as hard as loading up a truck full of gear and driving to a venue and paying for food, gas, drinks, all the other nonsense, and risking scuffing up my gear, damaging things, losing things, all that kind of stuff. I could just do it from the comfort of my own home. I can have a band down here. I have a mixing board right here with 16 inputs on it. I can run all that stuff right out to you guys, and you guys can enjoy an awesome sounding concert with a light show and everything else without having to leave your house. So we don't have to leave, and you don't have to leave. Who do you think's going to win when it comes to that scenario? When it's like, even you as a patron, what would you rather do? Watch an awesome sounding, very well produced concert from the comfort of your own home, or go to some crappy club and pay $10 a beer, $15 in parking, and hoping you'll get pulled over on your way home that night? I mean, if you ask me, the web's going to win every single time. You know, I mean, it's as simple as, what would you rather do? Lick an envelope and send a letter, or send an email? Send an email. They get it just like that. You don't have to write a bunch of stuff. You don't have to put a stamp on it. You don't have to walk out to your mailbox. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just send an email. The web's going to win every single time. And it's time that we all, embraced, just the whole honesty behind it all. I mean, I'm telling you, there's going to be bands that are going to get hooked on this, and they're never going to go back. They're going to be like, it's like I was telling my friend the other day. I said, it's funny because, like, if somebody called me right now and said, hey, you want to play at such and such club? I'd be like, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You're expecting me to pack up 4 guitars, maybe like my Synergy rig, my Helix that, I use for switching and controlling and all that, plus our in-ear monitor system, and like my other bandmates to pack up their stuff, and we throw it all in a truck, drive to that location, set it up, wait around for 5 hours before we can go on stage, deal with the stress associated with that, buy dinner, buy drinks, put gas in the vehicles, and give up a whole day, so that we can do all this stuff, and then play a 30-minute set, or let's say it's even a 40-minute set, in front of 12 people or 15 people or whatever, pack all that stuff back up, put it in the vehicle and hope none of it got either forgotten, dropped, or damaged, and then bring it home, get home at 2 to 3 in the morning, put it all back in the house, and the next day get up and then have to put it all back away again and assess everything and make sure it's all there and not damaged. And then how much are you going to pay me? Like, no way, dude. I'm not going to do that. I can do that. I can do a concert and have more people show up and actually make, something out of it, at least not lose money, and do it out of the comfort of my own home and not have to deal with any of those things that I described. If honestly, if somebody wanted me to do a show right now and play out, it would cost them a lot more than they'd be willing to pay me, for me to be able to do that, because that's what my price would be. And it's not because I'm like super in demand and I'm famous. It's just because that's what it would take to get me off the couch and make me want to go do that. Because I would need my arm twisted pretty hard to get me to do that, you know? So let me see what you guys are saying about that. Brian Miller says, you're looking better. Glad to see you back. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that very much. Lloyd Kaufman, what's going on, buddy? Just catching up to some of these here. Lloyd says, well, do it. And a lot of people are going that route. No, you're right. It really is going that direction. I really think so. I think it's a good thing in a lot of ways because, again, venues, if you're watching this, I'm not against you. I don't want you to go out of business. But if you guys are smart, you're going to get with the times and you're going to start streaming shows from your venue. You can even do pay-per-view streams where you can say, whoever wants to watch the concert tonight, it's $20 or whatever. And you know what? I'd pay that. I'd pay that over going out and seeing the show at your venue because your drinks suck and they're too expensive, and you're an hour away and I don't want to deal with it. I'll pay the $20. And then the people that want to come can come. Either way, everybody wins, That's what I would do. And this whole pay-to-play thing, I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only way people around here get in front of an audience is they have to sell 60 tickets to open up for some band that's either on their way up or on their way down that's coming through town and playing the venue, and you get to play 30 minutes in front of their audience because they didn't come to see the local bands, they came to see the national act. But you had to sell 60 tickets at $30 a piece and turn in all that money to be able to play in front of that crowd. And at the end of the night, you didn't get anything out of it at all. You basically paid to play. You earned your way to go and play on that stage and work even that night. Because when you're playing, you're working, and at the end of the night, you didn't get anything out of it. So it's stuff like that too. I mean, all that stuff needs to go away. It really does. And these clubs should start streaming and letting us, like, if I went to a club right now and played, I would use my channel. I wouldn't use theirs. I would use mine, and just log in through there and go live on my channel and play a show. And that's the way I would do it. And at that point, what's cool about that, though, is I don't care if somebody shows up or not. I mean, yeah, it makes me look better when I'm on stage. There's a bunch of people in front of me, cheering me on and, really getting into the concert. And I know that definitely makes it look better. But at the end of the night, in all reality, I'm just glad that you guys are watching. That's really what I'm after. I want you guys to watch and enjoy it, and I want to entertain you, and that's, to me, I think that's the way things are going to go. It's probably going to be a little bit of time while the pendulum's kind of swinging that way. There's going to be some adjustments and jockeying and positioning and stuff that happens, and a lot of clubs trying different things, but if you have a club or you're a promoter and you're not listening to what I'm saying, you're nuts. This is how the future is going to happen. I really believe that. I really do. You'll get way more people watching a stream than you would at a show, and there's ways of getting paid to do that. And you guys that are musicians, I mean, most of the people that watch my channel are musicians. I'm telling you guys, I'm onto something here. I think you guys should really, really consider when you play a show streaming it. But don't stream it in a way where it's like, you're going to take an iPad or your phone and stick it off in the corner. I've seen a lot of guys do that, and God bless you for trying. I get it. Yeah, everybody's got to try. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see something that sounds terrible like that. You want to have an interface, and there's ways of doing it. There's iRig Pro Duo. You can hook it right up to an iPad. Okay, I did it. Carrie and I did it with that one thing we did at the brewery. It was just an iRig Pro Duo. I hooked it right up to my iPad. The iPad was the camera, but the interface was the iRig Pro, and I ran everything from the board directly into that, and it sounded fantastic. It didn't sound like a mic in a room where everything's all loud and distorted and crappy. It sounds just like a studio mix, and that's how you do it. And people will watch that, and especially if it sounds amazing. They'll watch it and they'll love it. And I'm telling you, that's the way of the future. It really is. You know, let's see, Joel. What's your band name? Also, what kind of music? Thanks for asking. Um, I'll get to your question in a second, Derek. Thank you. I'm going to freeze my phone here. Anastasi is my band's name, and we're kind of like a proggy kind of thing, Dream Theater-y type stuff. That's kind of what we do. So yeah, Anastasi, Anastaci. So if we ever do another show again, trust me, it'll be streamed. It won't be at a club. Derek is saying that's a very interesting idea. No, it's thank you. I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Like, we're okay. So let me do this. Derek, you asked what about bands that are just starting out? The best thing I could tell you is to get with some other bands and do a joint venture with a stream at a show, and utilize each other's platforms, and maybe the one band that has the platform that has the most people watching, will make the money off of it. But at least you have a chance to get on their platform and get in front of their audience, and you can enjoy that. And maybe depending on how much money's made, maybe they can have like a thing where it's like, well, I'm just throwing easy numbers around. Let's just say, like, if I was the band that had the bigger platform, I'd be like, well, I have to make a minimum of $250 tonight. Okay, and there's 3 bands, including us, so there's 2 other bands. If we make our $250, then I'll divvy out the rest of the money amongst the other 2 bands. So let's say we make $350. Well, I'm going to take my $250 and give $50 to this band and $50 to that band. Everybody wins. You know what I mean? So I made my minimum. I got what I needed, and you guys at least got $50 for playing, and you got to be on my platform and in front of my audience. And the more you do that, the more it builds up. And the thing is, too, that you have to think about is that stream is out there forever. It wasn't just a live stream that we saw, and then once it's over, it's done. It can be watched over and over and over again. So you want to talk about exposure. That's exposure. That's good exposure, because you're on a stream, on a stage with a great light show, and the sound and the mix was very good, very professionally done, and streamed out to everybody in the audience, and it can be watched as many times as people want to watch it. That's exposure, as opposed to playing at a club, doing a 30-minute set in front of a bunch of people that never heard who you are, and once you're off the stage, they don't remember who you are. Do you really think that people are the next day, like, at the water cooler, oh man, I saw this band so and such song that they played was amazing? They don't remember you. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but let's be real here, guys. I mean, they don't remember me. They don't remember you. They don't remember anybody. Where'd you go last night? Oh yeah, we saw so, the headliner. Oh, okay, cool. How was that? Yeah, it was pretty cool. They're not going to talk about the local bands. Very rarely did they do that, but this is exposure forever. And let's do another scenario here. In this scenario, if it's streamed, they can actually show their friends at work the next day and dude, I saw this cool band, check this out. Boop. Yeah, these guys are pretty good. Oh, share that with me. Send it to me. Okay, yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll watch it. And then you guys can put all your music and all your links to all your music in those streams so that people can buy your music. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's 100 times better scenario. So let me put this out there too. Let's paint this kind of scenario here. Um, you can play at a club that doesn't do streaming. You just show up and do your show and leave. Or you can go to a club that does do the streaming and you know that they're going to, have that direct feed out to the internet when you play that night. Which club are you going to play at? I'll take the streaming club. I would take the streaming club that only had 10 people show up over a club that had 100 people show up. Because I know that those 100 people that showed up that night, let's face it, they're not all there for me, and they're going to forget who I am the next day or even 5 minutes from then. But the club that did the streaming, that stream is out there forever. So in the long run, and even not even the long run, I mean, by the time 2 days go by, more than 100 people saw that stream anyways, and they've shared it and passed it around and bought the music and this and that. Those 100 people that were at that other club that didn't stream, they didn't buy anything from you. You're lucky to sell them a wristband for $5. So that's what I'm saying. I'll take the streaming club any day of the week over any club. you know. And again, you guys that are watching this that are promoters, you want to save your business? That's how you save your business. I just saved your freaking business for you. Just listen to me and do this. And it's not a lot of work. It really isn't. You just need an interface that goes out to the internet. It's not a lot of work. $100 you can get an interface that goes out to the internet. And you can stream all your concerts. You already have the lights. You already have the sound. You already have the venue. You already have the bands that know to play there. All you need now is an interface and build a platform or use, like I said, if I played there, I'd use my platform. I wouldn't use yours. I would use mine. But at least everybody wins at the end of that. So that's what I would suggest. Yeah, if you get a live stream, better make sure that the guy that's on sound and camera knows what he's doing. Um, no, you're right. I mean, you don't really need a lot. I mean, you can have a thing where you have two camera guys, and they can operate that, or you can have a stationary deal, where you just got a great shot of the stage, and it's up to the players to move around and interact with the audience and the camera. But the sound guy, I mean, you need a competent sound guy just to run sound, period. It's not hard. You just take what sounds great in the room and you run that feed right into an interface and out to the world. It's not hard, and all you need is a good pair of headphones and you can monitor the feed. You just listen to it real quick and make sure, like, okay, before this goes out, let me sound check the board. Let me make sure the feed that's going out. That's what I do every time I play for you guys. These in-ears that I'm using right now, that's my way of monitoring how everything's balanced for you guys. And I watch the show back every single time and make sure that I mixed everything properly. And so far, so good. I mean, I'm not, patting myself on the back, but I would say that for the most part, it sounds pretty damn good every time, So that's what I would suggest. It's really not hard, I mean, if it can't be done, then you got to get some some better people at the club to handle that. Make sure I'm staying on point here. So I guess I covered that. The end of the local scene. I don't think it's the end, but it's just going to change forever. And the same thing, the live music's changed forever. I really think that if we embrace technology and we utilize those things, I really think that we're going to get somewhere. I really think that we can turn this negative situation into something that's very positive and go back to making music and enjoying it, but we're going to do it in a way where it's much better for all of us, including the patrons. It's going to be, I want it to be as easy as possible for people to see me perform. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I want a platform that makes it very simple for people to see me? So now there's not only is there no excuse, but it's something that's just easy. All they have to do is go click, and there I am. Here I am, right in your living room right now. Here I am on your mobile device, your phone, or whatever. I'm in your car. I'm on your home theater system. I'm everywhere. And there's no reason why you can't catch the show. And when I'm done, if you couldn't catch the whole thing or any of it because you were working or whatever, you can watch the rewatch later and watch it as many times as you want. You can share it. There's all kinds of stuff. So right here, not that I'm the shining city on the hill, but this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It just makes it so simple and easy for everybody to enjoy. So let me read a few more comments, and I'm gonna fire up the Kemper here and probably play. I'm gonna play so bad tonight because I literally can't play right now. It's so awful. It's laughable, but I was like, you know what? It might be comic relief, to hear me play tonight. I'm serious. I played yesterday, and everything felt like speed metal. Like, what's going on here? Um, Lloyd Kaufman's giving Carrie some awesome compliments here. That's awesome. Yeah, Carrie is the singer in my band, and she's an amazing singer, and she definitely is a pleasure to work with. Um, Van Van Davens, sorry, time to go to bed. Best wishes. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for hanging tonight, man. Really appreciate it very much. Um, yeah, Carrie will be here soon. Hopefully within a week. I'm hoping we could get together and do another live stream. Um, let's see here. Let's see. I'm just catching up to you guys here. Well, I hope you guys like the idea, and you guys that are in bands right now watching this, I'm serious, embrace this idea, really start getting the gears turning about how you can utilize um, the web and getting your band out there more, because I'm telling you right now, man, once you get past the learning curve of it all, you guys are going to never look back ever. iRig Pro Duo. Remember that. iRig Pro Duo. Get an iPad, and then you can go to any club and get a feed off the board, a stereo feed. It's not hard. Just bring your own XLR cables and just say, I need a stereo feed off your board. You take it off the board. Every club will be able to do it for you. It's very simple. You run it directly into the iRig Pro Duo. You log into Facebook or your YouTube channel or Twitch or whatever. You go live and you go on stage, and everybody can hear the exact same thing that the house is hearing. A direct feed. It's not a mic in a room where everything sounds terrible. It's a direct feed that everyone's going to hear you on, and they're going to see you on stage with lights, smoke, and everything else. Just make sure that your iPad's set in a spot where everything looks really good and it's a good shot of the stage. And all you have to do is go live, and people will watch you. And I'm telling you right now, you do that for a number of months, and you're going to get to the point where you're like, this is awesome. Playing live, why would I want to go out and play a venue only and not stream this? And at the end of the night, you're not going to care how many people showed up to the venue. You're going to care how many people showed up to the stream. And then you're going to watch your numbers grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Because every stream you do is going to get more people in it, more rewatches, and then you're going to up your game. You're going to up your ante. You're going to keep getting better at it, and you're going to grow. And then, like, think about this for a second. After doing it 10 times, do you think you would want to ever go back to not doing that? No. You're going to want to do it every time from now on, and it's not hard. It's an iRig Pro Duo. It runs off of batteries if you want it to, and 2 XLR cables and an iPad. That's all you need, and you can stream. And you just take a direct feed off the board, and Bob's your uncle. I'm telling you guys, that's how it's done. It really is. I'm giving you pearls here, and I'm serious. Use it, because I want my channel to be more than just about gear. I want to help bands be successful too, in any way that I can. And I'm telling you, that is going to be way more successful. And the other bands on the bill are going to be like, "What is all that? What's all that going on? Oh, we're streaming the show. Oh, really? Oh yeah, we stream ours too." Joey puts his phone in the corner, and people watch. It's, no, that's not the same thing, buddy. This is way better. It looks better and it sounds perfect. It sounds like a studio recording. So that's what you do. Let me fire up this Kemper here. Let me see what I got. Yeah, here we go. Let me mute the mic. Jeez, I'm so not used to live streaming right now. Let me just see where I'm at here. 1 second. Okay, so that is my latest profile of this guy, the Bogner Uberschall Synergy module. So what you're hearing is I mic'd it through, I ran it through my power amp here, which is a Syn 5050, into my Mesa 212 cab, and I have an Audix i5 mic and the Sennheiser E609 mic on it. And I just did I shot 2 profiles of it, and thought they came out pretty good. My ears are still playing tricks on me, so let me know what you guys think. I'm just going to play a couple simple ones tonight. And again, I know you guys have heard me say this before. I'm probably going to screw it up, blah, blah, blah. I probably really am, because everything feels way too fast and way too difficult for me. But why not play a couple songs tonight to end the night and celebrate with you guys that I'm actually able to play and stuff. So let me just see where we're at here. I'll just do the old favorites and see how this sounds, okay? Oh my God, see what I mean? I couldn't even keep up with it. Man, my hand just gripping the neck right now feels so weird. Oh gosh, I'm serious. I probably got about an hour's worth of playing in me in the last 2 weeks. This just all feels so foreign to me. But yeah, that's the Uberschall, Kemper profile that I made. I mean, hopefully it sounds good to you guys out there. I don't trust my ears at all right now. Everything sounds terrible to my ears. It really does. I'm trying to figure out what else I should play, because I'm afraid to play anything too difficult, because I don't want to screw up too bad here. Let me try this one and just see where I'm at. Let me do this is the KSR Aries profile. Let me do a couple riffs on this one real quick. So that's the KSR Aries profile that I did. I did that one a couple weeks ago. I don't think I've shared that one yet with you guys. I just, kind of fine tuned it tonight for tonight's show. And then, of course, there's the PRS MT15. We do a couple riffs on that. See what I got here. Wow, again, can't even keep up with my own music. Jeez, man. Woo, this has been really interesting trying to get back into playing mode again. Let me see what this Kraken one sounds like here. Wow, that was risky. Holy cow. I barely made it through that one. I can't believe how fast some of this stuff is. Like I literally playing it now. I'm like, is this the wrong track? Did somebody speed this up? It feels like 1,000 miles an hour right now to me. Everything feels so fast. Wow, atrophy is a real thing, guys. Holy cow. Well, I hope you enjoyed a couple laughs at my expense. I mean, just show how real this is. I mean, I barely made it through that one. Right when the solo spot came up, and I'm sitting here getting ready to play it. I'm like, what am I doing? I should not be doing this. This is total embarrassment. And yeah, I definitely had a few moments there that were pretty human. But at least I got through it. I mean, that was the Kraken profile. I think I played most of them tonight, anyways. I got the Ubershaw. I did the MT-15. I did the KSR Aries, and I just did the Kraken profile. And I'm gonna watch this back and have a few laughs at my expense as well, and see how they sound. Because again, I'm not kidding you. After all the stuff I've been through, everything sounds terrible in my ears. Everything sounds like it's too loud and too noisy and just obnoxious. I mean, it's just so weird. I have to kind of readjust to all this stuff again. Um, oh, Sean, awesome solo. Thanks, buddy. I promise I'll play it better next time. Tonight was just me knocking the rust off and getting loose again. Uh, Chicago Todd, what's up, buddy? Sounds really great. So glad you're back, but gotta run. Cheers. All the best to you and your family. Love your work and full recovering. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate that very much. Hi, Irene. How you doing? Berserkerland, what's going on, buddy? Sounds killer there. Thank you. I mean, I'm serious. I'm not fishing for compliments here, but man, I'm not kidding you. I was telling my buddy Jay today, I was like, man, I made some Ubershaw profiles, and I said, dude, they sound like crap to my ears. I'm like, I can't trust anything that I hear right now. I even had, when I plugged in 2 days, was it yesterday? It's either yesterday or the day before, I plugged into my actual Kraken amp upstairs in my living room, which I know sounds incredible. And I literally could not stand how it sounded the other day. And it's nothing against the amp. It's just my ears are just weirded out right now. Everything sounds terrible to them. Like awful. So, Return Dakota, what's up, buddy? Jason Taylor says, don't worry, still sounded great, and we all know that you're capable of. It's amazing you could play it all right now after everything. Thanks, buddy. No, you're right. I mean, I was kind of debating on whether or not I should even play tonight, but I like to keep it real here. I really do. I want to keep it real with you guys. I'm not trying to be pretentious or anything like that. I mean, I literally, um, you know, cannot really play that well right now because of everything that's happened to me. My whole body is atrophied. Literally walking around my house makes my legs hurt right now. I mean, that's how weak I still am. When I first played the other day, I could barely grip the neck for more than 10 minutes and just play rhythms. I mean, and then I started like warming up to my tracks because I take this iPad upstairs and play it through my home theater system just to kind of, it's like my routine. Stay sharp, play this stuff like 2 or 3 times each every day, and it's just like my routine, my practice regimen. And I couldn't even get through one song. Could not even play one song 2 days ago. It was that bad. I mean, I was like, oh my God, have I slipped back that far? And then even that little run at the end on the solo, I mean, it's like I get halfway through it, my hand just starts cramping up on me. It's so bad. And like I said, everything felt like I was playing like freaking speed metal. I was like, I don't remember this stuff being this fast. I really don't. Like that first song that, this thing right here. Is it this one right here? That to me sounds like I'm going Mach 10 with my hair on fire now, where before it was just normal. So that's kind of what I'm going through here. Let's see here. Glad to see you're back. Return Dakota says, thanks, buddy. It's so good to be back. It's so, so, so good. to be back. I don't even know what's going on this Wednesday. As far as like what I'm going to be doing that night, any gear I'm reviewing or whatever. I'm still wrapping my head around recovering and getting better. But please keep your eye on the community section of the channel here, and I'll try to have something up there for you guys. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but you know, we'll figure it out. I got some new songs that I'm working on for you guys. Maybe I'll have a new song that day. Maybe if I'm practice up and feeling better, I can do it. I have a 80s kind of jam that I'm doing because I've had a lot of people ask me like, well, what does that piece of gear sound like for like classic rock or whatever. So I actually went to the studio a couple months ago and wrote a whole bunch of new stuff. I got blues, I got like ballady type stuff, and I have an 80s jam. I'm calling it Camaro Mullet. That's the 80s song. It's called Camaro Mullet. That I'll be using for demoing like any gear too. It's a really fun song to play, and I'm still writing the guitar solo for it. But it just helps me to kind of give you guys a more variety, so that when you hear different gear that I'm doing, you can hear it in like modern metal, like proggy type stuff, 80s type stuff, bluesy type stuff. I even have a blues jam that I'm working on right now. So I can play it in all these different genres for you guys so that you can hear it in maybe a genre that works for you or speaks to you. And I'm trying to keep the entertainment value up, but also I'm trying to respect all the genres that are out there because not everybody that watches the channel is a metalhead like I am. So and quite frankly, it keeps me well rounded. I actually like branching out and doing stuff like that. It makes me better. So I'm totally fine with doing it. I mean, the 80s stuff, I grew up in the 80s, so it's nothing for me to do an 80s jam. I mean, I kind of like it. So it was actually very refreshing for me to come home with that 80s song and start writing to it because I'm like, this is fun. I can do some, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but some cheesy but fun kind of 80s riffs to it, and still keep the quality level up, hopefully, and really enjoy doing that, and hopefully you guys will get a kick out of it too. So definitely want to do that stuff. Jason says, I got my new Ubershaw module right before the outbreak and haven't even had a chance to plug it in because my gear is at the studio and I haven't been there. It sucks being on lockdown. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully that profile I played of it earlier wet your whistle a little bit. Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, it's a killer module, man. The thing is very aggressive. It's very like over the top. Tons of gain, tons of ridiculous tone out of it. Definitely one of my favorites so far. Very, very much liking it. Let me know when you get a chance to play it what you think. There's a lot of cool little switches and knobs on it that allow you to adjust for different tonal options. So I think you'll really enjoy it. I really love the blue channel for rhythms, and that's actually what you heard earlier when I played it. The red channel I think is much better for leads. It's geared more for leads. I think you could do rhythms on it, but it's a little too much for rhythms. It's great for leads though. It's got that extra push that you like. Let me play that just real quick for you so you can hear it. This is the Ubershaw blue channel Kemper profile anyways. Here you go. So yeah, that's that one, and I think the profile turned out pretty good, but again, my ears are shot, so I'll have to see how that goes later. When I feel better, I'll reassess these profiles and hopefully I'll still like them. Wayne, what's going on? Do you have any YouTube videos of your band that I can see? Mention the name of the band again, and I will look it up. Thanks for asking. Anastaci, Anastaci. And if you scroll down in some of our videos and on my channel, just scroll back, and there's times where we actually did play on here. It looked for like a phoenix kind of logo in the thumbnail, and that's how you know that we played that night. So that might help you there. So I appreciate you asking. We played on here like 3 times, I think. Wasn't anything major. We're just down here playing and screwing around. We were still dialing in the sound and all that at the time, and I'm sure if we did it again, it would sound much better. But it sounded pretty good, you know. So at least it gives you an idea of what we do. Let's see. Jason Lewis, I can't wait for your 80s jams. That's right up my alley. No, I can't wait either. Dude, when you hear this thing, it's just a lot of fun, you know. It's probably not the best song you've ever heard, but then again, what is, right? But it's just a lot of fun to play, and it's very challenging because there's a lot of soloing in it, and I actually wrote a breakdown in there too to kind of bring it all down and add some dynamics. And I made that part pretty long, so I'm like, well, I got to come up with a lot of tasty stuff to put in there. So it's just a matter of getting it all done. I'm about 60% done with it, and I just got to finalize the arrangement of how I'm doing things, and then I got to write that breakdowny kind of part because that's pretty crucial. And but yeah, it's going to be a really nice challenge. And in fact, one of these days, what I'd like to do is be able to put these up for you guys to play to as well, because I'm sure there's some really cool stuff you guys would do with this stuff, and I could learn from as well. So maybe one of these days I'll get them up for you guys. You know, it's a face ripper. Jason says it is, man. It's a pretty freaking killer module. I like it a lot. You know, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. Brent says, everyone make sure you click the like button. No, thanks, buddy. Yeah, that really helps the algorithm, guys, when you click the like button. It really does. Helps me big time. So thank you very much. Glad you're feeling better, Mark says. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm Carrie says, it was so good to see everyone tonight. I can't wait to get back to normal. Uh, Jared, you're the man. Thank you. I loved hearing you play again. I'm turning into a pumpkin. Good night. All right. Thank you, Carrie. I miss you, and hopefully we'll be able to get together soon. That'll be fun. Azel, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Glad you're feeling better. When do you think you'll be getting the new Pitbull module? I don't know. It's a good question, and thank you, by the way, for the well wishes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure even when that's coming out. I bet you it's delayed a while now because of all this stuff. So, but when it does come out, trust me, I'll be one of the, at least hopefully the first bunch of people that get one, because I'm really looking forward to that. And when I do get it, I go live every Wednesday night with new gear. And reviews and stuff like that. So you'll definitely see me here on the channel with it live. A friend of mine, Paul Smith, does have the Kemper cone on the Kemper cab, and we just haven't been able to get together because I was so sick. And but as soon as we can get together, I will be doing a live stream with the Kemper cab and cone very soon. Hopefully Wednesday. If not this Wednesday, maybe the following. Paul, if you're watching, get a hold of me, buddy, and we'll see if we can make that happen somehow. I'm just trying to be respectful and keep my distance from people because I don't want to get people sick. But like I said, I think I'm through the worst of it now. So hopefully, minimally, he can at least drop it off for me to do a live stream with it or whatever. We'll have to see. I mean, there's just a lot up in the air with that. But I was hoping I could do that a couple weeks ago, and then everything went to hell on me. So keep your eye out on that for as well. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see here. Read something. Okay, so Steve Shaheen, what's up, buddy? My hero. One of my heroes. Glad to hear some good tones again. He said, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Um, Sven is asking, are the profiles ready to buy? They're almost ready to buy, buddy. I have somebody working on my website right now, and as soon as that gets built, it's almost done. We're about 80% there. I'll have all these loaded up on my website. I'm extremely picky, so I'm going to have to go through. I made lots of profiles, so I'm going to have to go through all of these with a fine-tooth comb and play them in my in-ears with the mixes. I'm going to also play them through my Friedman ASC 12 cab here, play them on my studio monitors, and play them through my regular Syn 5050 power amp and real cab, and just double check them on all that stuff and make sure that they're all good, because I don't ever want to attach my name to anything that I wouldn't buy myself. So once I get through that process, I will have those uploaded and ready, and I'll share the website on you know, right here on the channel, and we might even have a night where we kind of go through it all. And I love the artwork and the graphics and all the stuff that this guy's doing for me. He's doing a freaking killer job, and I'm very proud of what he's doing so far. So I would say within a month they'll be ready. And this whole thing set me back at least 3 weeks. It really did. So it's going to be a little bit yet, because again, like, I could go through all my profiles tomorrow or today, like I tried to today, and I hate everything right now. Nothing sounds good to my ears right now because of what I've been through. So as soon as I get back to normal, I'll go and assess everything and get everything ready for you guys. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you. Um, Aaron Green, how fast did COVID hit you? Hit me like a truck overnight. Just, I was down. I washed trucks, came home, was super tired, and felt like I got hit by a bus, and I woke up and the bus was running me over big time the next day, and I was out for 10 days straight sleeping. So if you, on the rewatch, you can watch the intro of the show, and I talk about the whole experience and everything. So but yeah, it hit me hard and fast, and it took me down big time. So I'm just glad to be back, guys. Glad to be back. All right, well, I'm going to close out here in a minute. Ben Burnett. Aaron Green, can you please? Oh yeah, Sven, good to hear. No, you're right, dude. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, the YouTube demonetizes everybody for using that word. So sorry, guys. It's just one of those things. Brett Scheuer, hey, what's up, buddy? He says, happy you're on the men, dude. Really missed your playing. Gotta head out, as always. Keep doing the good stuff. Thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Jason Lewis, random question, but I was wondering what your thought is about grabbing the ISP Theta Pro floor unit to demo. It's a metal beast. No, they won't demonetize video. It's all good. I mean, comments are probably one thing. It's just me. I can't do it, and I can't have it in my title or whatever. I guess that's what it is. But it's no big deal. I appreciate it. I mean, people are just curious. It's no big deal. No big deal, Aaron. Seriously, I don't even think it's a big deal if you guys comment. I just can't, because I don't know why. It's just a YouTube thing. So no need to apologize. No need to even worry about it, Aaron. Honestly, it's no big deal. Yes. Jason asked about the ISP Theta Pro. Yeah, I did play the Theta Pro a couple of years ago, and I thought it was okay. It's funny, like, once you play the Kemper, I mean, and you play like a profiler as opposed to a modeler, there's definitely a difference, and it's like you can't unhear that difference anymore. I wouldn't mind checking one out again, because it was very brief that I played one, but it's a good question. I mean, I'm not opposed to having one on here. ISP Technologies is 5 minutes from my house. So Buck's a good guy. They make a lot of great stuff. Their PAs are ridiculous. So I'd have to look into that and see. Thank you for the question, though. Maybe someday I can have one on here. Okay, Joel, how do you feel about eight-string guitar? Once you go eight, it's hard to play seven, from my experience. I've never played an eight-string. I would probably really like it though, because once I went seven, I can't go six. So like I have a six string upstairs and I rarely play it because I just love having the extended range guitars now, and I just feel like I could do more. um, so if I went eight, yeah, you might be right, I'd probably never want to play my sevens anymore, which kind of freaks me out because Ernie Ball doesn't make an eight string or at least the Majesties aren't. So, and I'm so hooked on these guitars, I don't want to not play them. So I'd probably have to wait until they came out with one, to really get into one. Um, Aaron Green, well, either way, I'm glad you're feeling better. Thanks so much, dude. Seriously, I really appreciate that. And again, don't even worry about anything. It's perfectly fine. It really is. Not a big deal at all. Thank you. All right. So, all right. Well, hey, here's the thing. I can't do seven strings, Berserkerland says. Really? I'm fine with my sixes. No, it's cool, man, because I know that what was his name? Can't, my brain is fried right now. Um, can't think of his name. Misha Mansour. He plays a lot of sixes, and they just drop tune him down to C sharp or C standard or whatever. So that's what my six string is. So like I don't mind playing a six string as long as it's drop tuned. Then it's fine. And what I mean by drop tune is like the whole thing is dropped down like a step and a half or whatever. Then I can have that throaty kind of fullness that I like so much, on that. And it feels like I'm playing an extended range guitar because everything's so low and throaty. So I do like that a lot. Um, well, anyways, good night together, Jared. I wish you all the best. You are such a good person. Well, thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love you guys. I probably should get off here. I gotta eat. Keep my strength up here. But been on here for 2 hours, and I've enjoyed every second of it. You know, so it was great catching up with you guys. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with me. I mean, I'm so glad I did this tonight because this really put a lot of fuel in my tank and gave me that extra push that I needed to even get better. So I honestly think having you guys here with me tonight improved my health even more. And I mean that. And I'm not just saying that. It really did improve my health even more. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. I love you all very much. Thank you so much. If I missed any comments, I apologize. I will read all the comments tonight. But again, thank you all so much for being here and for being patient with me while I was going through all this. And I'm hoping Wednesday night I'll be back with something. I don't know yet. Everything's still kind of like day by day with me right now. But I'm hoping Wednesday night I'll be back with something for you guys, and I'll try to make a special treat for you. Well, again, thank you so much, guys, for being here. God bless you all. I really very much appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you so much, guys. And I will see you all soon, okay? You guys all take care. Have a great night. Thank you so much for the well wishes, the super chats, the kind words, and everything. I really appreciate it very much. All right, guys. See you soon. Take care.